Welcome to our multi-platform in-person and love-streamed service of the River of Grass Unitarian Universalist Congregation, where we have gathered partly in person here in this room together and partly online through Zoom and Facebook Live in order to keep us all both connected and safe as the COVID-19 pandemic transitions to endemic status. No, it's not over, but it's better. And even after such a long and harrowing time, here we are, still together, continuing to grow and grow and flow the river way. I'm Tanya Gustafson, and my pronouns are she and her. You here in this room, we welcome you. You on Zoom and Facebook Live, we welcome you. However you made your way among us this morning, we welcome you. Let us pause together to enter into this time together as we connect again with one another, with the holy by any name, and the light of love within us all. While we remain mindful that not everyone can breathe easy or find it easy to breathe, let us pause here in the headlong rush of our lives to breathe into our time together. In this congregation, it is our mission to nurture our spirits, love intentionally, and create a just and healthy planet in our enduring search for truth, meaning, and faith. What we share here is not an unchanging dogma, but an affirmation that we are called to be agents of love and justice, and to build a world where everyone is cherished for who they are.
This morning, as we continue our exploration of change, we arrive at thresholds. This morning, we'll explore what some of those thresholds of change are. The important thing to remember is that we arrive at these thresholds together. We begin our reflections and our contemplations this morning with these words from Arlen Goff. Thresholds. We cross them every day, from room to room, from outside to inside and back again, from here to there, from anywhere to everywhere, from age to age. Each threshold offers an opportunity for change, for renewal, for transformation from what we were and what we are, what we can be. In this hour and in this place, we cross a threshold from our day-to-day everydayness into space and time, attuned to the other, attuned to the sacred, to the holy, and an awareness of new life, new times, new possibilities. How will we be renewed in this moment? How will we be changed by this hour? How will we be transformed through this gathering of beloved community? Come, longing, hungry, thirsty souls. Come. Let us worship. We will rise in body or spirit as we sing together our theme hymn for November. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Rejoice and come in. Enter, rejoice and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Rejoice and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Sing it loud. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
flaming chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, a beacon of religious liberty shining through generations, now ours to hold high. As we light our chalice together this morning, please say these words. May this flame we light today fire the hearth of humanity, that we may share the bread of hope and healing with the wide, waiting world, that none within our reach should hunger in body or in spirit. In the light of love, let us renew our covenant as we say together, love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And in Spanish, el amor es el espíritu de esta congregación y el servicio su ley principal. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad a través del amor y ayudarnos mutuamente.
In this season of gratitude, let's join together as we sing, "Oh, we give thanks," and you may remain seated for this as we will approach this in a contemplative way. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for our gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for those gathered here and those far away, through this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
In our community each week, we share pieces of our lives. This too takes a new form for our new normal. We take a moment here with the people who love us for exactly who we are, where we are, right now. Here in the room, we will share from the book. If you're in Zoom and would like to share a thought, a prayer, a joy, or concern with us in this moment, we'll open our chat space now, write it there, and we'll lift them up together.
As we prepare our hearts to lift these things up that have been entrusted with us in the community, we make note that we woke this morning to news of another hate crime against our queer LGBTQIA community. Colorado Springs and Clubview. At this moment, we know at least 5 are dead and 18 more wounded. The news is ongoing. The suspect is in custody, was also harmed and is also wounded and is in hospital. This is all the more painful on this day of transgender remembrance. Aware that our trans kin are at the greatest risk. And for a while, things got better. And we did a whole campaign for Youth Say It Gets Better. And of late, hate crimes are up by many percentage points. And some 20 to 25% of those hate crimes are against trans and queer folk. While it is never our wish to be the bearer of sad and horrible news, this is the place that we come to bring those things, that we may be sharing the burden, and that we may be healed, and that we may renew our commitments to see to it that it does get better. All we're doing now is returning to the ancient ways where people were recognized for who they are in a universe of gender and sexuality and their expressions. And it was like patriarchy that took that from the indigenous peoples. But the hopeful thing is that people will not stay underground. They will not stay in the closet. They will not stay silent. They will be who they are. And we are a community that invites that, invites us to know who we are even more. Invites us to stand with our kin, whoever they are, whomever they are, whatever they ask. Here's a message of hope on that. The backlash is always a sign of progress. Because if you ain't winning something, they don't need to fight with you. If you ain't getting better, they don't need to try to hold you back. If we're not making progress, they don't need to try to stop us. So we continue. Let's hold another time of silence. Most of all, the holy called by so many names, none of which we can fully know nor understand. We come today with all these things that have been given in our community and trust to share. And we notice that there are sorrows and there are joys, that there is grief and there is rejoicing, there is trouble and there is triumph. We come with gratitude for those in our midst who make a difference every day, who live their lives in honesty, in truth, in authenticity, and invite others to do the same. We come rejoicing that new life has come among us in baby Rowan. We grieve that Marla is grieving the loss of her precious one. We come with determination that we will continue to progress, that we will continue to open hearts, that we will continue to fight back the forces of hate that would stop us. And we will show to them the love that invites them in. On this Transgender Day of Remembrance, we lift up those who have lost their lives simply for being who they are, and those who risk it even now. We gather around them and with them in strength and in courage and in love, and we will not stop. Our minds are with those around the world hungry today, in body and in spirit. Our minds today are with those in Colorado Springs who are grieving those they love, and those that are fighting to live and to recover. We ask that justice and love be done. Show us our part in these things. Open our hearts, even when it hurts, and make us always know that in this community we are not alone. In this work we are not alone. In the things that we attempt to do and be, we are not alone. We lift all these things in the name of all that is holy. Amen, 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 aho, ashe. Namaste. Blessed be. And so it is. Breath. Another one. Because we have the capacity for joy as well as sorrow, and in fact, our joy, the well of our joy, is made deeper by those things that are sorrowful. We bring gratitude this morning for the people who make this place go and grow and flow. I'd like to thank those that make it happen, because it doesn't just happen. This morning, I would like to thank our auction folks. Maureen, eyes got real big. Maureen put our auction together, managed it, made it all work, made it work online, followed up with all of us. We thank Maureen for making it work. We thank all of you for contributing to the well-being of this community. You know how this goes. You didn't have to do what you did, but you did, but you did. And we thank you. You didn't have to do what you did, but you did, but you did. And we thank you. Thank you.
Strengthen this beloved community and its work in our world through the gifts of our time, our skills, our love, and our money. Each Sunday, half of our undesignated offerings go to LifeNet for Families, which provides meals, clothing, and support for those in need here in Broward County. The other half supports our mission and ministry at River of Grass. Ushers, please come forward to receive the offering. Folks on Zoom and Facebook, information for text to give is posted in the chat. You can also find several ways to give on the donate page on our website at riverofgrassuu.org. Thank you for these generous gifts.
For our wisdom story this morning, we're doing something a little bit different. We have a visit from Karen, who is far away being a new grandma. She did this for us.
Well, good morning, Harper. Isn't it a beautiful day? I was just sipping my morning tea and thinking about my work for today. Oh, I'm the Director of Faith Development at River of Grass. Remember, we used to see you at our sanctuary doors regularly when we were in our last building. I know it's been a while. We've been through quite a journey these last few years, but soon we'll have a regular home again. Maybe we'll see you there. What do we do at River of Grass? That's a good question.
What do we do here at River of Grass?
Care about each other.
We care about each other. What else do we do?
Help anyone that needs it.
Help anyone that needs it.
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot of people.
Sense of community.
Sense of community.
Listen to one another.
We listen to one another.
Grow in love.
We grow in love.
Sing and have fun together.
We sing and have fun together. That's a pitch for the choir, y'all. What else do we do? We stand for social justice. That was, oh my goodness, we got it from all parts of the room at one time. There you go. And we meditate, and we pray, and we commune together, and we
We invite diversity.
we invite diversity. Let's continue.
Yes, we do a lot of things at the river. What do I think we do? Well, we like to say that faith development is all we do in our UU congregations. And everything we do develops our faith. Every time we gather, we're learning and growing. You see, we believe that it's our responsibility to care for each other by loving intentionally and creating a just and healthy planet. That may sound simple, but it's really quite challenging. When we come together at the river, we seek not only to understand and attend to the needs of our Unitarian Universalist community, but also of a complex world beyond it that needs our faithful attention, grounded in the values and principles we share as UUs. We see religious education as the learning process through which we grow in faith, ideally as a lifelong endeavor for all of us. Oh, what inspires us to do this? We're called by our UU theology to be a justice-seeking, change-making, inclusive, and welcoming people. And as such, faith formation is our most essential and sacred work, and needs to be at the core of our UU identity, culture, and community. You see, today, we find ourselves in a threshold moment, in the doorway, with our long history of religious education behind us, and before us, an awareness that the future calls us to transform this work of faith formation in ways we cannot yet fully know, but that we commit ourselves to making real. It's a moment of preparation, of readying ourselves in solidarity of purpose for what is ahead. As members of this community, we'll be walking through new physical doorways soon. So we have the opportunity to consider new ways to grow our faith and support our work in the world. UU congregations in every corner of our association are doing the same thing right now. This morning at River of Grass, we're considering just what the most important thing is that we learn or that we teach. Our responses will help to not only guide our steps through that doorway, but they'll also help to inform our association at large, so they know how best to support our work. I look forward to seeing you at our new home soon, Harper. Thanks for helping me to get my morning started.
phone and focus in on this QR code, and it's going to open up for you a place that we are seeking your answers as to what are the three most important things we do. Tanya will be passing out some cards and pencils for us also, for y'all who are not necessarily, let me do this, not necessarily accustomed to QR codes yet. Let me tell you, once you get accustomed, you won't want to stop. They're just so cool. To write down for us 3 things that you think we should be focusing on as we move forward. So you get to choose where we're coming from, and we are in the southern region. What do we teach and learn in this congregation? I'm looking at the screen. Response number 1, number 2, number 3. And we need all of your input, all ages, everybody. Yes, you can choose. There's a pull down in the blank that says where you are. Florida, Davie, River of Grass, UU congregation, number 3019. That's our congregation number. So the UUA knows we're here, y'all. It's right under where you pick your place on the map, which is the southern region. And for the things that you write down, we will also be submitting those, so not to worry. In this time of thresholds of change, we all decide how we move forward together. Some of the things that worked in the past will work again. Many things will not. And our priorities have shifted in this time that we've come through together in the past 3 years. Anybody else need a piece of a card? All right. As you continue to consider your responses and share with us what you think are the important things that we need to do, we will begin our music meditation. In Him we know, though I may speak with bravest fire. I keep forgetting. Though I may speak with bravest fire, which some of you may remember is sung to the tune of "The Water is Wide." The words will be here. We begin this morning with a piece by the beloved theosophist poet Ella Wheeler Wilcox. At the turn of the last century, she wrote these words: "There are two kinds of people on earth today, just two kinds. No more, I say. Not the sinner and saint, for that's well understood. The good are half bad, and the bad are half good. Not the rich and the poor, for to rate someone's wealth, you must first know the state of their conscience and health. Not the happy and sad, for the swift flying years bring each one their laughter and each one their tears. No, the two kinds of people on earth that I mean are the people who lift and the people who lean. Wherever you go, you will find the earth's masses are always divided into just these two classes. And oddly enough, you will find too, I ween, that there's only one lifter to every 20 who lean. So in which class are you? Are you easing the load of overtaxed lifters who toil down this road? Or are you a leaner who lets others share your portion of labor and worry and care? Ella Wheeler Wilcox. This is the season of gratitude and of harvest, the season of giving and sharing, which all seasons should be, really. We don't need a special time of year. This morning we pause on thresholds of change to reflect on our own lives and whether we ourselves are lifters or leaners. On this first reunion hunger communion, in the wake of the pandemic that changed everything and some things not enough yet, we gather. Each year, to prepare for this particular Sunday, I study the latest statistics available to us on who goes hungry in this world of plenty. And I must tell you that while we were making steady incremental progress over the last few decades, that was before the COVID pandemic, and that was before the rapid increase of climate change, and that was before new conflict and major wars on the European continent. The numbers now are stunning. According to the United Nations World Food Program, the number of those facing acute food insecurity has soared from 135 million across the globe to 345 million. Since 2019. And those facing food insecurity grew from 379 million to 828 million. Some 40 million in these United States, the richest country in the world, and 12 million of them here in these United States, children. Millions of people in America are just one job loss, one missed paycheck, or medical emergency away from hunger. But hunger doesn't affect everyone equally. Some groups, like children, seniors, Black, Indigenous, brown, and other people of color, face hunger at much, much higher rates. Hunger often affects our neighbors who live in poverty, and this even though we produce enough food to feed everyone on this planet 1.5 times over. So how is it that 1 in 10 people on this planet will go hungry today? 1 in 10. The primary problems are access and availability, which includes the fact that nearly 1/3 of all the food produced globally is lost or wasted. Oh, and a third problem, lack of awareness and action on that awareness, that this is still a problem. Part of that awareness includes realizing that the bulk of industrially produced grain goes to feed livestock or convert to ethanol to put in our cars. We prioritize feeding livestock in the industrial food production system and feeding our cars over feeding our people. Now, you can look up world hunger on Google yourself and see all the different things, all the different statistics, all the different things that people are doing all over the world. But this morning I want to embody some awareness of what this means by holding a hunger communion here. Now, we're going to follow these statistics. On this planet we share today, roughly 15% of all people will have a sumptuous meal of their favorite food. I will have terribly buttery popcorn watching ball games. The next 35% in the middle will eat a simple meal of rice and beans, and if they're lucky, some bread. The next 50%, which is the majority of people on our planet, will wait in line for a small portion of rice and water. 50% of people on this planet. Of the 828 million people going hungry today, we know the majority are in developing countries, but here in the United States, 53 million people turn to food banks and other community programs like our partners, LifeNet for Families, to put food on their tables in 2021. 53 million. Close to 300,000 of those are our neighbors here in Broward County. And close to 80,000 of those neighbors in Broward County are children, some of whom only eat at school, and 17% of which do not know where their next meal will come from, even though we already grow enough food for everybody 1.5 times over. In this morning's Hunger Communion, we will share a single allotment of bread. For those of you who've done this before, it's an invitation to go deeper in our reflections. For those that haven't, here's how we're going to do it. We will envision the statistics this way. All of you over here, all of you over here, roughly 50%, a little more than 50% of the room, all of you over here are hungry all the time. You wake up hungry, you go to bed hungry. Because you never have enough to eat. Most of you over here, in fact, represent children. Because the majority of the truly hungry people in the world never grow up to be adults, for lack of sustenance to even grow up. Now you over here on the left side, you have more of the earth's food. You will live longer. But most of you combined don't have as much to eat as the people sitting here in the front 3 rows. Now, all of you sitting closest to the front, over here, you represent people in countries like ours, where food is generally available and we can generally get to it. Those of you in the further back rows, you are the 35% that will eat, but not well. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pass down both sides half of a single allotment of bread. We'll begin here as you take a look around the room. Just see who's here. Take a look. Go ahead, take a look. Now, each of you will take a piece and then pass the bread. Each of you is representing a hungry person in this world. So each of you will take bread as it's passed, taking enough for yourself and leaving enough that those behind you will also have something to share. Now, the loaves are wrapped in cloth
because you might not want to partake of something that has been passed around, and those of you in the back may be rethinking your choices this morning. But no cheating. And here's what I mean by that. So many of you have hearts that are inclined to not take any, to be sure that there's enough when it gets to the back. That's a beautiful thing, but don't do it. Because today you represent someone who needs to eat. And if we are to do this work in the world, we have to be strong and healthy enough in our own bodies to get that work done. Now, don't let the passing of the bread and other people having touched it distract you. If you don't want to partake, that's fine. Just hold your peace. And when we get outside, you can contribute to the world outside our doors and thereby help take care of all of our interdependent web of being. Remember now that we are sharing the bread of life. Our communion this morning marks our promise to do our part that all might share. So as we do this, just think of what it means outside this room that we do this together. Would our ushers come take the bread allotments, please?
Breaking bread, breaking bread. We are gathered here together to break bread. Breaking bread, breaking bread. We are gathered here together to break bread. It's not the barley or the wheat. It's not the oven or the heat that makes this bread so good to eat. It's the kneading and the sharing that makes the meal complete. Breaking bread, breaking bread. We are gathered here together to break bread. Last is first, the first is last. For everyone who eats this bread, there are thousands, maybe more, that will be fed. Breaking bread, breaking bread. We are gathered here together to break bread, breaking bread, breaking bread. We are gathered here together to break bread. Upon the water, bread is cast. The last is first, the first is last. For everyone who eats this bread, there are thousands, maybe more, that will be fed. Breaking bread, breaking bread. We are gathered here
You at home, I also hope you were taking time to reflect with the bread in your own hand. Meanwhile, we took one allotment of bread and passed it to everyone in this room. And still have this. In this world of plenty, yes, it is ours to work to serve the needy. But it is more important to dismantle the systems that keep them needy, realizing that we ourselves are in need, in body or in spirit. For there is more than one kind of hunger. There are those who need bread, and those who need the bread of life, of love, compassion, respect, safety, honor, in a place that they can call their home. As we go forward into this season of gratitude and harvest, let us remember that there is plenty for all if we make it so. And the work at hand is in no others but ours. Let us continue this work as we remind ourselves that we will take one more step until this is achieved. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing together one more step.
One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us, and everyone will take one more step. One more word, we will say one more word, till everyone is heard by everyone. We'll say one more word, one more prayer. We will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared by everyone. We'll say one more prayer. Here we go. One more song. We will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song.
Please be seated as we consider the things at hand for us for the life of this community.
At River of Grass, we offer many ways to live our Unitarian Universalist faith in action. You'll find them in our weekly email, our Facebook page, and website, riverofgrassuu.org. Here are some upcoming opportunities to fulfill the mission and vision of this congregation and other announcements for the life of this beloved community. Here are some things you should be aware of today. Faith Development is excited to again be holding our annual holiday gathering for families and teachers on December 10th from 6 to 9 p.m. You should have received an Evite recently with directions and details. For more information, please email faithdevelopment@riverofgrassuu.org. And worship team needs 3 new Zoom hosts to rotate with 2 other volunteers running our worship service through Zoom on Sunday mornings. It also includes a Facebook promo at 5 p.m. on Thursdays when Rev Amy and Faith Development tell our Facebook friends about the upcoming service. Training will be provided. Once every 4 to 5 weeks is the commitment for 1.5 hours. If you want to jump into volunteering, here's an opportunity. Please contact Rita Cherubini and myself at worship@riverofgrassuu.org for more information. And thank you to everyone who attended our fall picnic last Sunday. We had about 50 people in attendance, and our deep gratitude goes to Liz and John Perez and Buddy for opening their lovely home to all of us. And from membership, please join us for the 6th session of the Faith Forward Inquirer sessions, which will be held after worship service today from 11:45 to 1 p.m. The discussion will focus on small group connections and stewardship, led by our small group ministry co-lead, Janet Schwartz, and by our finance chair, Britt Lundell, and our treasurer, Rob Giblin Davis. So it will be multi-platform, in person and on Zoom. The Zoom link for today's Inquirers session is posted in the chat for those on Zoom. And we are all welcome for this important and informative meeting. And our next new member ceremony will take place during worship service on December 4th. Coming right up. Please contact Leanna Bresnahan as soon as possible at membership@riverofgrassuu.org if you wish to become a member and sign the membership book that day.
We have a very special time this morning. We're in a season of gathering again, reunion time, where we get to gather in person to do things that we did in the before times that we haven't gotten to do throughout COVID. And one of those today we're going to revive in saying farewell to our beloved Lou. Yes, we're going to embarrass the heck out of it. Because we love you. As you heard during earlier in the service, Lou has been serving with our youth and our teens for a very long time, and I too would be one to cast lots to see if I could ride with you when we're going somewhere. And always there when we need a hand, when we need to show up for justice, when we need to show up, especially for our young people. And so we wanted to be sure that we send you off with a blessing and with ways that you can also never forget us, because we will never forget you.
Where do I speak here?
Yeah, well, anyway,
Lou, would you please come up and join us?
back up just a little bit so we
Okay,
get this one.
okay, we'll do this one. For those of you who don't know, I'm Leanna, and Lou is a charter member of River of Grass. That means that on our birthday, which was February 21st, 1999, Lou was one of those people who signed the membership book that first day. So he's truly been part of our heart and our soul and our spirit throughout all of River of Grass's existence. So it's with great sadness that we say goodbye, but we want you to know, Lou, you will always be part of our heart. You will always have a home here with us, and we hope to see you again, so don't become a total stranger, okay? May I give you a hug?
Of course.
Okay. Aw. And I want you all to know that we have goodbye cards out on the table, so please, there are 3 of them. They're blank right now. Please sign them so that Lou can take them with him as a remembrance of us. Don't go anywhere.
And we would like to provide you with a gift certificate to In Faith, the UU Bookstore, or In Spirit, the UU Bookstore, and we have a box of your favorite donuts.
Boston Cream.
Boston Cream, right? And you can share them or not at hospitality time. So thank you, Lou, for all
Okay.
your gifts
You're
to
welcome.
the congregation. And James, you want to
You were one of the first people at this congregation I confided to about my transition. And in that time of shyness and anxiety for me, you met me with nothing but support and help. And I really appreciated that. And time again during faith development, you taught me the ways of the U congregation, how to be me, how to be kind, how to be thoughtful. And I really appreciate that. And I'm glad you could be part of River of Grass, and I'm glad that you were there for me and many others here.
And one last thing here. I'm going to take and show this to the camera before I show it to you. Is that across the years, Lou's other identity
Our very own Santa for River of Grass making special visits during our holidays. And with our holidays coming up, we wanted you, Lou, to take this with you. And so we extinguish our chalice, but not the light of love, not the fire of commitment, not the warmth of community that calls us again and again and again. We are going to share time in hospitality to say goodbye, a proper goodbye to Lou. But first, we love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Let's go celebrate.